On the front page, we discussed Air Peace making in-flight announcements in indigenous language, specifically Igbo. Lots of people had reactions to that. The CBN launching a cybersecurity levy on all financial transactions, and the Senate barring over 10 TV stations from covering plenary. Those were the stories for last week. Now, to help analyze this week's stories is Marcus Ijioma, communications consultant and a public affairs analyst. Hello, Marcus.
Good morning, Sam. Good morning, Rivers State and Niger Delta, Nigeria. Good morning.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great.
Okay. So I've made a duty to ask any guess I have today, how much is fuel in your area?
The last I bought was 850.
Okay.
That was day before yesterday. That's the one that's still running in my car. I don't know what's being sold today.
Yeah, I think I bought yesterday and still 850. So we're on the same page, or maybe we live in the same neighborhood.
We don't. The dealers are in the same WhatsApp group. You know, I was telling someone yesterday that the economy we studied from school is useless in Nigeria right now.
Really?
Because when you hear words like market forces, you would think that filling stations should be in competition. Or maybe this one will sell 650, the other one will sell 670. No, these guys are in one WhatsApp group. And they just wake up one morning and say, everybody sell 850. And everybody adjusts their meter. That's what's happening, because if it was market forces, I should be able to get it cheaper and cheaper as I tag along. But that's not what is happening. So we don't know what the force that is determining the price right now.
Marcus, you're a businessman. I'm certain you understand the principles of collaboration and partnership.
That's not partnership. That's gang up.
No, that's what you want to call it. If you're outside, it feels like a gang up.
It's a
if
gang up
you're inside,
against consumers. And unfortunately, Nigerian Consumer Protection Agency is silence on the matter.
Unfortunately, this is one of our stories, but we're not there yet. It's like the third story. But, no problem. Trust Marcus to hit the ground running.
Oh, my God.
We begin at the beginning with World International Boy Child Day. A child psychologist, Andrew Owem, is encouraging boys to embrace open expression, especially when they feel vulnerable. Speaking during an interview with our correspondent, Mr. Owen said, "Raising successful boys is a direct result of parental guidance." He urged boys to resist societal pressure, nurture their dreams, and strive for excellence. And, of course, some boys had a few things to say. I'll try to get that. Meanwhile, a lawyer, Gloria Anuri Ohia, urged parents and guardians to show the boy child affection and allow them express their emotions openly. Mrs. Anuri Ohia, the River State coordinator of African Women Lawyers Association, AULA, stated in an interview with correspondent Constance Mega. She expressed disappointment that the society has neglected nurturing the boy child. The International Boy Child Day is celebrated annually on the 16th of May, and it aims to raise awareness about safeguarding boys from harmful societal influences. Marcus, the Day of the Boy Child.
Good enough. This is the first time I'm observing it.
Really?
Over the years, it's passed without notice. But I think I want to commend everyone who brought it to our notice. I think I saw it first on Wisdom Series page, and then I also made my own post, and we all celebrated. And I'm very interested in the boy child because I have 3 girls.
Very interested.
Yes, and whether I like the boys or not, I have to be interested at this point, because these are the future husbands of my 3 beautiful daughters.
Yeah.
So it was wonderful, and I like what some of the speakers are saying, you know, talking about boys expressing their emotions and being parents paying attention to the boy child, because most affection over the years in our time was shown to the girl child, not necessarily the boy child. And that taught us something different, you know, situation where you bottle up things until when it explodes one day, and then you're feeling, where did this come from? It's been there all along, but somebody told you, be a man, don't express yourself, don't cry. You fall down, you can't cry, but you're feeling pain. And these things can lead to very serious issues.
Yeah, and the Be a Man Council, if that's what I'll call it, it's so mainstream. I remember some guy who lost his mom. You know, I was around that area when his boss was talking about giving him some time off. And so you had friends who came to visit. And naturally he was pained, right? The moment where he cried Of course, as people came, he tried to dry his eyes and all of that. And I remember one of his friends that came, he saying, "Guy, be a man, be a man." None of my business, but I just had to. I'm like, yo, please stop it. My brother, if and when you need to cry, I better cry. This is your mom that passed on. What are you being a man for? So we are just used to being men. Sometimes we don't even know what it means. It just means man up, basically. And yeah, it is what it is. Fortunately, Kalada and I were invited to a school to give a talk to the boys in the school, and I must commend organizations like that. Those in the civil society space, schools. I think I'm actually going to give a shout out to that school, Elora Bray Academy. It's nice that they did that. So bringing that awareness, it's very important.
Yeah, sure. And we need to do more. There are other issues that affect boys, issues of molestation, rape, and all kinds of things that we need to all bring up and make sure that it becomes issues of the front burner so that more and more people can become aware of what boys go through.
All right. And we go from that to the federal government. Remember last week we talked about the cybersecurity levy and the reactions connected to it. Well, it seems that the government heard. The federal government has suspended the controversial cybersecurity levy on electronic banking transactions. Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, disclosed this while briefing State House correspondents after the Federal Executive Council meeting at the State House in Abuja on Tuesday. He said the policy is undergoing a review. The position of government is that the policy has been suspended. It has been put on hold. That is the position of government for now. The insistence on for now. That's scary. It's undergoing some form of review. It was reiterated on the council. The council is a continuation. Okay, we're quoting him now. That's what he said of the meeting yesterday. So I can tell you that the cybersecurity levy has been put on hold. It is being reviewed by the government. Your take, Marcus?
It was ill thought out in the first place. Sam, I keep my money in the bank.
Okay.
And then I pay the bank to secure my money after banks have taken charges from me. If there was ever a threat, let's go back a bit. You realize that most Nigerians have gotten their money stolen from their accounts.
Yeah, a lot of Nigerians.
Yes, sometimes your ATM cards are stolen, your account is swept. Sometimes your mobile phones are stolen, your account is swept. Guess what? Banks do nothing about those monies. And even when you demand, there was one that happened to my wife. The money was actually transferred to a known commercial bank account. I think it was about 75,000 naira. And we went to the police. I won't tell you how much they were asking us to pay.
to retrieve 75,000.
Yes, to go to court to get. I don't know what they called it. The police were saying they will go to court and get some paper to the banks to be able to release the statement of the other person's account and what have you, to commence investigation. And you're asking yourself, there was another lady I ran into in one of these commercial banks. Her phone was stolen on Friday, and she didn't know that she could call and block the account and all of that. She was coming back on Monday to complain. Sam, they cleared her account, borrowed money.
Oh my.
With the same account number. So as at Monday, when she came to the banking hall to block the account, she was already in debt to the bank. I don't know how they sorted that out, but I'm almost certain she still paid back that loan because the bank will never agree that it was not you that borrowed the money. What am I trying to say? How safe is our money in the bank? With all of the charges, every year a bank trump up profits. What happened to taking a percentage of that profit that the banks are claiming to have made from charges and all kinds of sundry charges to secure our account? And then guess the trick in all of this. It's now going to be domiciled in the office of the NSA. What is the NSA going to do with that money? Is it going to, or is it, I would rather have us talk about insurance, deposit insurance. Like we have, what's the name now? Nigerian Deposit Insurance.
NDIC?
No, NDIC, yes.
Yeah.
We already have that. Does NDIC compensate any Nigerian whose money is successfully stolen? Or they are waiting for only when banks are liquidated before we start claiming deposit from them? But those are the issues that should concern more Nigerians. If my money is stolen and proven to have been stolen, because most times when you print out the statement to see where these monies were moved to, they were moving to crypto, they were moving to all kinds of coins, and you see digits on the account number, you don't see the name of the bank or the account number that the money was moved to. Offshore accounts That's what Yahoo boys are doing. And somebody is telling me to come and pay for that. So what have you been doing all along? So which means I wasn't safe all along. We're that's exposed. So telling Nigerians to pay was ill thought out. It was never supposed to be thought of. It was the government and the bankers committee who would say, guys, the profit you're already making, set aside XYZ percentage for cybersecurity. Whether it's going to be managed by national security or the banks are supposed to put better secured platform to make it impossible to steal from Nigerians, it would have been better not telling the people that are already overburdened and taxed to come and start paying, even if it's 0.000000001%. It was completely not necessary.
We have a break coming up, but this is the craziest argument I'm ever going to make. You know how you're on a street and there are incidents of theft on that street? So there is vigilante, local security, neighborhood watch, whatever. And they say, listen, we understand how unsafe this space is. Now we have to pay a security levy. Right, because we're trying to hire, some security people who can now ensure that. And they say, okay, well, yeah, all the landlords come together, tenants, let's do this. So they mobilize, they get the fund, and I don't know, it depends, neighborhood to neighborhood. I'm sure they'll have their unique cases. Maybe they start to experience some level of safety. And this is thanks to the contribution that they made.
I agree with you. On my streets, I pay 2,000 every month. Street security levy.
Yeah.
The plaza where my office is located, I pay 2,500 every month. It's not far. My office is not far from Okoro police station, if I must tell you that.
Hold on. Wait. That information, that puts
my
you
office is
the
very
whole
close
thing.
to Okoro area command. Yet I pay 2,500 to two people to secure.
So let's take this break while we put a pin on that. Please stay with us. We'll be back after the break. Nigeria Info. I'm Sam Oracle Chinedu. I still have my guest right here with me, Marcus Ijioma. He is a communications consultant and a public affairs analyst. Hello, Marcus.
Thanks for having me. Good morning, everyone.
All right. So you were talking about the security situation, and this was, of course, in response to my partial defense of the banks, I guess.
Yes, I was saying that we are already securing ourselves. You know how it is that your ATM card is expired, and banks are still charging you ATM maintenance charges. It has happened to me before. If you allow callers to call in, they'll tell you their different experiences.
I have not thought about that. But
ATM card that has expired is still being maintained by the banks. I'm glad that on one of your news items, one of your guests said it's possible to apply for such refund because I can't be maintaining a card that I'm not using. In fact, somebody called in to say that he didn't even have an ATM for the account, yet he was being charged maintenance charges. So their banks have automated some deductions.
Yeah.
That whether you are using them or not, you are still being charged for them. The funniest of them is them telling you happy birthday on your date of birth that you used to open the account. And at the end of the month, you are seeing 4 naira SMS charge. Did I ask you to tell me happy birthday? Why should I pay? And don't forget that internet messages are far cheaper than 4 naira that you are paid. You are being paid. You are being charged by your bank for debit and credit alerts. Now, where I was going to with the police being close to my office and all of those analogy I was bringing was that we are already paying for these things, Sam. We are already paying. We expect that our money should be secured. The reason why you and I took our money to bank and allowed them to take these charges is because we don't feel safe at home with our cash.
Yeah.
We had safe boxes, but we don't want SS3 boys to break into our houses and then whatever we have saved up is taken.
Yeah.
So we kept them in the bank, hoping that the banks not only secure, they also have insurance so that whatever happens, even if the bank is robbed, there is an insurance company that will pay the bank back and then I get my money back.
Yeah.
So what am I trying to say? This is a country where we claimed over a year ago, nearly a year ago, that subsidy has been removed. And we remove subsidies that can free up funds for infrastructural development. Now we are looking at security infrastructure. Part of the subsidy funds should be wired into securing our cyberspace, our funds in the office of the National Security Advisor. I shouldn't be made to pay for that anymore. You have removed subsidy from education, you have removed subsidy from fertilizer, you have removed subsidy from electricity, and then I will now have to subsidize security. Then what does the state do for me? What does the government exist for? The government, according to the constitution, exists for the sole purpose of securing for the welfare of its citizens and the securing of the lives and property of its citizens. My property in the bank is not safe and you're asking me to pay, then the government has lost relevance.
Marcus, I'm certain that the government will defend itself by stating
there is no defense.
That let the spokesperson of government defend government now.
The devil's advocate, you mean? Go ahead.
No, spokesperson, please. I'm looking for appointment. So, I'm certain there would be defense along the lines of
Sam.
The money saved or gained from subsidy removal have been channeled into many sectors.
They add this one to the list.
We just don't have enough, Marcus.
We have.
I don't know any government in history that claims they have enough money.
This is not too expensive. This is not too expensive. Taxes have been raised. VAT was raised from 5% to 7.5%. You are telling me they don't have enough. Subsidy was removed. They don't have enough. When are they going to? Is it until they draw blood?
While cumulatively this will translate to a large amount, these are almost finite, negligible margins.
Let me ask you, I have an experience in one commercial bank.
Okay.
I went to their ATM. The ATM was not dispensing.
All right.
And then I got into the banking hall. I realized that I didn't even have, it was a current account. I didn't have a check leaf to make a withdrawal off the counter. And the lady looked at me and said, they'll give me this counter check, the one they call manager's check or something like that. That one that you can fill and then sign off. And then I said, will I be charged for this? She said, yes, but it's negligible. Borrowing your word. And I asked her, how much is it? She said, 350 naira. And I said, it's not possible. That's not negligible. You can't charge me 350 naira and you call it negligible. Sam, if you have 1 million in your bank account, if it is short 5 naira, you will not be able to withdraw that money. That's how important 5 naira is.
So negligible is subjective. To a person who has 10 million naira, 350 is negligible.
It is still not, because 10 million minus 350 naira, the bank will tell you insufficient fund. They cannot neglect that and say, oh, Sam is such a good customer, let's allow him withdraw the 1 million even if he's short 350. They won't do that. So why should I give them 5 naira?
Okay. Well, the security levy has been suspended. That's the all of this conversation.
It's permanent suspension.
No, they said for now.
Jesus. No, they don't have a choice.
Mohammed Idris, the Minister of Information, says for now. So it's been reviewed.
He's been diplomatic. He's too proud to accept that Nigerians have defeated them on this one.
No, you don't call a Minister of the Federal Republic, a member of the President's Cabinet, too proud on this platform.
Sorry, he's too humble to admit.
Please take that back, Marcus.
He's too humble to admit. I've taken it back. He's very humble. That's why he didn't want to admit.
08179230002. Conversations on the front page are the biggest stories that made headlines this week. We've talked about International Day of the Boy Child, which happened this week. We've talked about the federal government suspending the cybersecurity levy. Coming up next, we are about to talk about the fuel hike, the reactions, the concerns, the cause, and the effect. So call us and tell us. 08179230002. 08179230003. WhatsApp is 080-903-06416. We're live on Facebook and Twitter at Nigeria InfoPH. That means you can watch as you listen, and you can drop your comments on those platforms. I have messages on Facebook. Daniel Okuku says, fuel hike raises concern. I laugh in Chinese. What do we expect from a country where citizens are enslaved by greedy and selfish leaders? A country where goat rules over lions because of the sleeping nature of the lions. God help us, he says. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Oracle.
Good morning, what's your name?
Taino.
All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this country, I'm becoming very tired of this country.
Why?
Nothing seems to be working positively. Everything goes on the negative side. I'm talking about the fuel price hike. Look at how people are suffering. We have been promised countlessly that things are going to get better. I could remember earlier on this year, we were told that the Port Harcourt refinery was going to start producing, was it around the first week of March or so. But now we are hearing a different story. We've been hearing about the Goje refinery, and yet the fuel pump price is going higher and higher. What are we going to do about the country? Why have they resorted to suffering Nigerians every now and then? And on the other hand, they talk about the security levy on the accounts, bank accounts.
Yeah.
Yes, your guests in the studio have said it all. We have been paying for all these things. We pay for ATM cards that are not being maintained. People have complained countlessly that even without having ATM cards, they see levies, they pay ATM card levies and all that. Why is our government, why is offering Nigerians? Why? They don't want us to breathe. In fact, I don't blame those that have decided to gather, because that's the only solution.
Well, it's not the only solution, and I wonder who will fix our country if we all run away.
It's not a matter of running away. You understand? It's a matter of looking for a better place and a better life, because things are not working. Why won't you run away when things are not working?
We have to fix what's not working, and I think Jackpot literally translates to escape, running away. But thank you for calling. Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, the Oracle.
Good morning. What's your name?
Good morning to your guest in the studio.
Welcome, sir.
Yes. Okwando Obina is my name.
All right.
You see, since the inception of this government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, all we have been seeing is from one charge to the other, one removal of fuel subsidy, electricity subsidy, cement subsidy, fertilizer subsidy. And I have been asking, what is the position of Nigerians? What will Nigerians stand to benefit in all this removing, and nothing, putting anything you don't put? It is very surprising that it is only in Africa that you see that leadership is all about strangulating the people, while those in office are enjoying themselves. Just last week, the federal government is proposing 48,000 naira minimum wage for the Nigerian workers. But talk about the senators and other government. Their salaries has been increased more than what they have been earning in the past. So let this cybersecurity levy, or what they call it, let them not only suspend it, let them cancel it for life. Let them not even talk about it again. Because Nigerians are dying because of a high cost of goods and services. Occasioned by this removal of fuel subsidy, this subsidy, everything has been removed. Please let the government consider the governed. Because without the government, there will be no government.
Thank you very much, Okwando. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, the Oracle.
Good morning. What's your name?
My name is Wellington.
Go ahead, Wellington.
Sometimes I just imagine those who are in the aim of affairs, whether people do primary economics. Your guest in the studio was saying something. I've been in many countries, even in the home, even in his home, that I think you should pay for your own success. So I don't understand. We are paying for everything. And once you pay for everything, you collapse as a human. You collapse. There are things you as a human, you want to get them in a little, at least to have some change with you. So in that kind of economy, you see people go crazy. You see people running down per unit. That's not the fact. The government needs to think as possible. You do know what is 0.5? Like if 1 million, you're losing no less than 5,000. So even both in and out, both in and withdrawal. And we don't even have this cash. The cash is not flowing. You buy money, you go to the ATM, there's no money. They're not securing us. It's not that we look for them. There's not to come Google. We look for Conco and put our money. That's not the truth. And put our money and relax.
But you cannot.
Boys are even tired. They are tired, so we can save our money at home.
Yes, three boys are tired.
Wait.
Our money is a priority.
Wait, my brother, wait. Can you hear me? Oh my goodness.
Yes, three boys are even tired.
So you look for Concom. You cannot transfer 1 million with Concom now.
Before the coming of internet, we were putting money in envelope and posting them in post office.
But we could not transfer. Oh my goodness, that was crazy. Hello, good morning. All right, call back if you can. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Oracle.
Good morning. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Steve, Uncle Steve from Port Harcourt.
All right, Steve, please turn off your radio.
Sincerely speaking, generally, this country is a disgrace.
No, we are a work in progress.
I must be honest with you. See, nothing is going on in this country. The fuel issue has been on since the regime of Obasanjo, to Goodluck, and to Buhari. And now we are still on that. So what are we talking about? What are we talking about? All these years, this issue, that means we are wasting our time and the money contributing to some issues in the radio. People are bringing good ideas. They are not doing it. So to me, it's a waste of time and the money, because these issues has been on since. Okay, Goodluck that is from this area couldn't fix the refinery. Who will fix it? We are wasting our time in talking all these things. To me, we are wasting our time, because nothing will ever change.
Nothing will
ever change in this country. Just see the news that is being read every day. They will come, find one story and tell us every day. In the newspaper, politicians will gather, find one story and tell us. We'll be discussing, bringing ideas, and nothing will change. So I think I should stop calling on this.
No. We need you. We need you.
Honestly speaking, I will stop because nothing is changing. I'm not getting anything from it.
Give me your name again so that we can gather and come and beg. No, you will not stop. We refuse to let you go. I mean, I can understand the frustration, right? Nothing will change. The country is a disgrace. I obviously do not align with those positions, but I get where it comes from. Anybody in that position will very likely feel frustrated. And when he said nothing has changed feel-wise, I remember, Marcus, there have been few scarcities at different times since forever. I remember one time, I was in primary school, and there was this crazy scarcity one time. The queues were legendary, as they always have been almost every year. And this time, my mom, said she needed to go and get fuel, because if she did not, she wouldn't be able to drop us in school. I was in primary school at the time. And man, this queue was crazy. And I think there was one space in the queue where she was really trying to manage. Before you know, this normal, one big man come pay, they allow the person. So there was somebody who was trying to take her spot. And I still remember that incident because she's a woman, who drives. People felt, so this guy was trying to play a fast one. So the idea was when the person in front of her moved, he would quickly
come in.
And my mom noticed and acted like she did not. Apparently, there were lots of people observing that. So I think he had paid, and the filling station people told him, if this person moved, just find way. So immediately the person moved. She covered that space and covered it in a way that she now turned and made it impossible for the guy to even, so that others will also, and everybody was clapping. Madam, you did drive, you be this one.
I'm sure it's even a manual car then.
Yes, definitely.
So for you to have changed gear that fast.
Yes, I still remember that incident as a child, and she smiled and everybody was, hey, I know they do this one. So I was in primary school, I think primary 4. Now, I have my own child, who's not as old as I was then, but imagine the decades that have passed, and we still have the same problem that I faced as a child.
It's a two-sided thing, like I've always maintained. Why we are quick to blame leaders, the bulk of the blame should fall on the citizenry. I keep blaming the citizens. And these citizens, some of them are judiciary staff, some of them are INEC staff, some of them were NYSC coppers, some of them were police officers, some of them were naval officers, Air Force officers in Joint Task Force, and some of them were just RIRA, whatever code they gave them on election money. We all contributed to where we are. There was a video I posted a while ago, and I was asking a question, and I said, those of you who collected money to manipulate election results, you collected dollar when it was 400. Probably changed it before the election result was announced. How much is $1 today? Those who falsified results and those who defended the results in court, how much were you paid? The houses you bought, are you able to maintain them now? And, they're all rhetorical questions, food for thought for us to think about this thing. How we all contributed to it in our own little corners. The copper who collected $100, $50 in Rivers State, allegedly. You must have finished serving by now. Have you gotten a job yet? All of the people who participated, the police officer, have they built a new barracks for you? When was the last time a uniform was supplied you from the Police Service Commission or whoever is responsible for your change of uniform and boots and accessories? So we do this, we are so short-sighted. Today again in Rivers State, we have started rallies again. Some people are GDI, some other people are simplified. What are you people doing really? How much did they pay you to attend that rally? The guy who you trekked to go to the rally to meet somebody who is parked in an SUV waiting to receive you. And you still don't have sense. In the last 1 week, Thanksgiving upon Thanksgiving, even the clergy are involved. People are having Thanksgiving. You know that what they are attacking God for is illegal, illegitimate. You know that this Thanksgiving is political, and you think God is a fool to accept a Thanksgiving. So, Supreme Court judgment that is over 3 months ago or 2 months ago, we are still thanking God up till now. And each time you call for Thanksgiving, there will be people to attend.
Marcus.
What is really going on with us? When will Nigerians learn to ignore politicians? And even if we can't protest, even if we can't fight, can we give them a silent treatment? Sometimes silence can be golden. When they call for a rally and they don't see you, that's a strong message right there.
In all situations, give thanks. All situations, no exceptions.
Give thanks to who now?
Thanksgiving is always important. Well, our next story, which was about the fuel hike, we already have gotten responses to that. And usually we end locally with the Rivers crisis. This week, it looks like, sounds like, commissioners resigning from the governor's cabinet. 5 resigned this week. And after that, the government said it's going to probe previous governments. So we'll merge both of that into Rivers problem and seek solutions. 5 Rivers State commissioners again resigned from Governor Sim's cabinet. They are Commissioner for Education, Housing, Transport, Environment. And they are Gift Wallo, Chinedu Mom, Jacobson Bina, Austin Benchoma.
Mrs. Aguma, I think.
The commissioners are loyalists of the FCT minister, decided a toxic environment and unresolved political crisis in the state as reasons for their resignation. And former Deputy Speaker, House of Assembly, Leyi Kwane, is urging Governor Sim to quickly appoint commissioners to fill the vacancies. I was on Hard Facts this week and I said, the seat is still warm. There's no sympathy for mental health. They said toxic work environment. Did we consider if there was any validity to those claims? Former chairman of Emoha local government area, Alain Ma, has described the second resignation of the commissioners as unhealthy. And still on this, we had a lot of people say a thing or two. Marcus, your reactions quickly.
I've had this conversation with your colleague, I think it was Kala on Hard Facts a while ago, and I said it was a huge political blunder for Siminalayi Fubara, His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Rivers State, to have accepted the return of those people as part of conditions for peace in the purported Abuja agreement.
Peace has to do with compromise, Marcus.
Compromising, I remember saying on that show that it was not even safe for him. In other words, his life, personally, is at risk. Having people who resign from your cabinet claiming loyalty to someone else record back under any kind of condition. If it was a military regime, those guys have committed a treasonable offense.
But it's not a military regime.
I am coming, but security is security. His safety should be paramount to him beyond any other political alignment or agreement. So I knew this was going to happen. And that was why I kept saying that whatever peace accord they had was a first aid peace.
Okay. In 3 minutes, Marcus will continue. Stay with us. Welcome back down to the final minute. Marcus, your thoughts. You were expressing your displeasure with the governor for taking them back.
Yes, I remember saying it right here in this studio that it was politically wrong for him to have accepted. One, it wasn't even safe for his personal safety and security. And when I came back again and I was asked why he didn't assign portfolio to them as soon as they were screened, in quotes. And I remember telling Kala then that it was basically to frustrate them out of office. That's exactly what Sinolayi Fubara has done. And it's good that they have left. He should quickly fill up the space. I'm available. My CVs are ready. If the House of Assembly need about 7 or 8 copies, we can even make 16 copies. Samora Kuchinegu is ready.
No, please.
You are not ready to be a commissioner for information. No. Information. Okay, they have information right now.
There's information.
Yeah,
please,
we need other portfolios. You know the way the government, they can even create commissioner for street lights. There are portfolios that don't exist that can be created. So governor should just hit the ground running, quickly fill up the vacant position. There are so many unemployed Rivers youth, intelligent Rivers youth that need to be quickly engaged for him to take the state to the next level. So,
all right, very quickly, let me not say threats, but the move by the state government to probe previous administration. Your thoughts?
Futile. Exercise in futility. Nothing will come out of it. It will be simply probing SIM. There is no two ways about it.
Some experts have said that the capacity under which the governor functioned at the time was I reported to a president might be no culpability on his part.
Reported to sign off on anything that his conscience or law does not agree with. And again, I've also mentioned in several fora that, for instance, there were so many contracts that were awarded under the previous administration that, as a layman that I am, as an observer that I am, didn't follow procurement procedure. One of them is the fact that very few Rivers State government contracts under the previous administration were advertised for bid. If you people say, oh, you have your fact, I challenge them to show me newspapers when some of these flyovers were advertised for bid and how many companies bidded and how much the current company handling all the construction project won the bid. What we used to hear is council has approved. And this young man who happens to be the governor of Rivers State, His Excellency Sinolayi Fubara, was in the picture of all of this. He did not resign. He's an accountant. He has a moral right. He has etiquette of his profession to protect that. Look, we shouldn't be awarding government contract at 70% payment up front. 100% paid for upfront. There is no law, not in federal or state, that allows for that kind of payment. Those payments were done with his signature on them. He didn't resign, he didn't protest. And then when he was giving handover notes, he saw all of this fraud. He did not say, oh, because of the way illegal things were done, directives were given to me that I did not like, I'm not going to run for Rivers State governor. He ran for the office. So he inherited both the assets of Rivers State and the liability. So raising any kind of alarm now will not be heading anywhere at all. And at the end of the whole panel of inquiry and justice and investigation and all of that, who is going to go to jail?
All right. Thank you very much, Marcus, for your time.
Thank you for dragging me out this morning.
Have an amazing weekend.
Thank you very much.
That's it on the front page this morning. Join us next Saturday at 8 a.m. to catch the updates on the biggest stories making headlines. It's time for news around the world. Please stay with us.